Hello, my name is Katreena Alder, and I am a Ph.D. candidate in the Communication, Rhetoric, and Digital Media program here at NC State. My research interests include film and media studies, popular culture, Black studies, and ethnic studies. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk to you about the movie Beasts of the Southern Wild. I'm very excited you're watching this short video I've created alongside your screening of Beasts of the Southern Wild. So let's talk about the movie. Beasts of the Southern Wild tells the story of a 6-year-old girl named Hushpuppy who lives with her father, Wink, in a remote Louisiana bayou known as the Bathtub. The film follows Hushpuppy through her daily life in the water-based town, cut off from the dry area by a wall, and the challenges she faces. Some themes in this film include family, loss, tragedy, resilience, community, preservation of culture, environmental justice, storm reconstruction, and changing physical and natural environments. I believe in avoiding spoilers, so I won't delve too much into the story because part of the fun of films for me, as someone who loves watching and teaching them, is seeing what stands out to an audience experiencing a film for the first few times. However, I will take a little time to discuss personal observations and suggest a few points of consideration. I'll begin by speaking briefly about some of the technical aspects, a surprising character in the film, and of course leave you with some thoughts on the film and the way the environment can appear or be represented in unexpected places. Let's get to it. Almost from the beginning, I am drawn into the aesthetic or visual elements of the setting where the film takes place, which is Louisiana. Louisiana fairly jumps off the screen, and the significance of nature, land, and the environment are clear. In an early scene with Hushpuppy and her father, the director makes use of an extreme long shot to fill the frame with water, factories, plants, and the sky. The setting in Louisiana feels vast, and there's a lot of splendor in the way the director juxtaposes visuals and dialogue throughout the film. Not long after that scene, there's a bird's eye view of the bathtub, and you really get to see the isolation of the community. As we follow Hushpuppy to different places, such as school when she's out on adventures, and her house, listen to how she discusses the land, connects to the land, and demonstrates her understanding of the place and world around her. Her imagination and reality create beautifully tragic and sometimes painful moments throughout the story, and the way director Ben Zeitlin depicts some harsh realities is quite impactful. Zeitlin's use of close-ups, handheld, and editing further position the setting as significant and present Louisiana as an important character in this film. In a 2018 NPR article entitled, "Why Stay During a Hurricane? Because It's Not as Simple as Get Out," writer Adrian Ferwido shares a short list of reasons people might stay or not evacuate during a hurricane, listing reasons such as expenses, fear, and finances. In a 2012 article with The Atlantic, director Ben Zeitlin explains he was inspired to make the movie because of the post-Katrina reaction of, "Why do you still live here? Why can't you just move to St. Louis? This is too dangerous. You shouldn't build there. This is a waste of money. Why would you want to live there?" These articles highlight the often complicated relationship, connection, and histories people have with homes, land, and communities, especially in areas impacted by changes in the environment. While the bathtub is not a real place, there is a strong realism in how the community members' connection to the land and environment is presented in this film. The bathtub is a place where the residents make the rules, work together, and create what Zeitlin calls a utopia. There is a clear autonomy for those who live in the bathtub, but as you will see, outside forces threaten their freedom to live life on their terms. Pay attention to the dialogue and how life in the bathtub, climate change, or changes in the environment, are presented, and how the residents engage, adjust, and recover. In the article, The Monster of Representation, Climate Change and Magical Realism in Beasts of the Southern Wild, Dr. Ali Brock states, "Beasts of the Southern Wild illustrates that magical realism can bridge reality and fantasy in particularly productive ways when dealing with the imaginative challenges of representing climate change and environmental injustice." As you watch the film, think about how difficult it must be to portray or demonstrate the challenges of climate change and environmental justice. I hear the words environmental justice and climate change all the time, but I bet if I ask all of you to tell me what comes to mind when I say climate change or environmental justice or energy, I would get a variety of answers. I'll go even further and say that what if I ask what comes to mind when I say Louisiana and hurricanes? Again, I bet we would get a variety of answers and impressions. Some people might focus on the rich tradition and history of Louisiana. Others might discuss the terrain and the environment and the many parishes in Louisiana. That's because we are all different and carry with us the impact of our experiences, knowledge, worldviews, and understanding. Keep that in mind as you're watching this film. You have your own experiences, knowledge, understanding, and worldviews, which will impact how you feel about this movie. Allow the film to unfold and consider sitting in the feelings you experience as you were drawn in. You might be thinking, I am not an environmental studies scholar or scientist, nor am I a film scholar. How do you know what might stand out to me when I watch this? And the truth is, I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm not an environmental studies scholar or scientist either, but I do study film, and the one you're about to watch is impactful, jarring, tragic, triumphant, and thought-provoking. Some takeaways for me include culture, the environment, and environmental justice, along with resilience. But I hope part of the fun for you while watching this is noting what your takeaways are when it's over. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I do hope you enjoy the film.